皆さんこんにちは。Welcome to 英語ファイル。英検1級の語彙問題対策パート7でございます。今回もですね、ちょっと難しめの単語や熟語を5つ用意しました。まずはミニテストをやってもらって、その後にそれぞれじっくり解説をします。ということで、まずはテストをやってみてください。Alright, now let's take a look at each word in more detail. Number 1 was prescribe. This word has been the answer once before in the actual test. Let me read that sentence one more time. In the past, the sale of alcohol in the US was prescribed by law. Anyone caught selling alcoholic beverages would be penalized. So the word prescribe means to prohibit, or to not allow someone to do something. So you can see that prescribe and prohibit both begin with pro, so that might be one way of remembering the meaning. And also scribe means to write. So maybe you're familiar with words like describe or script. So those are both related to writing. So if scribe means to write, then another fun way that you might be able to remember the meaning of the word prescribe is to imagine a professional or a pro of a particular field writing or scribing some kind of rule or law that prohibits, bans someone from doing something. So here's a picture that might help. So imagine this is a professional who is writing a rule or a law that will prohibit alcohol. So let me read that sentence one more time while you're looking at the picture. In the past, the sale of alcohol in the US was prescribed by law. Anyone caught selling alcoholic beverages would be penalized. So again, prescribe means to prohibit, to not allow someone to do something. Word number 2 is perfunctory, which has been the answer in the actual test once before. So that sentence was, the poor performance impressed nobody and deserved the perfunctory applause. Perfunctory means done quickly without showing much interest. So what the sentence is saying is that because the performance was so bad, it's not surprising that it got a very quick, uninterested round of applause. Now, I couldn't find any helpful information about the origin of the word, so I'm going to remember it by listening to this example sentence many times, which, by the way, I made so that there are 3 P sounds: poor, performance, perfunctory. So I hope that helps you remember. And also, I'll show you a perfunctory applause. It's going to look like this. It's like, alright, that was terrible. Hurry up, get off the stage. Okay, so that's a perfunctory applause. So remember that image whenever you see this word, perfunctory. Okay, so one more time that sentence. The poor performance impressed nobody and deserved the perfunctory applause. So perfunctory, done quickly without showing much interest. Word number 3 is expropriate, and this word has also been the answer just once before in the actual test. Let me read that sentence one more time. A large portion of the farmer's land was expropriated by the government in order to construct new roads. So expropriate means to take away, and we usually use this word when we want to say that the government has taken away some private property in order to use it for some public purpose. So for me, the meaning of this word was easy to remember because first, ex means out or away, and propriate looks like property. So if you put those two together, then you get taking away some property out of someone's hands. So simple. Here's a picture. Obviously it's fake, but we tend to remember strange pictures better than normal pictures, so I hope this helps. So let me read the sentence one more time. A large portion of the farmer's land was expropriated by the government in order to construct new roads. So expropriate means to take away. Number 4 is glut. This word has been the answer in the real test twice before. Here's the sentence. When Saudi Arabia increased its oil production, it resulted in a glut of oil on international markets and caused prices to fall sharply. Glut means an excessive amount, having too much of something. And you often hear this word used in the phrase a glut of something. Now, have you heard of the word gluttony? This means eating and drinking too much, and it's one of the 7 deadly sins, which is basically 7 bad behaviors that Christians think people should avoid if they want to become good people. So those 7 sins are pride, greed, envy, lust, which is strong desire, wrath, which is anger, sloth, which is laziness, and gluttony, eating too much. So Christians think that these kinds of behaviors make people immoral and therefore should be avoided. And by the way, there's a really good movie about these 7 deadly sins called Seven. And some of the scenes are a little gross, but the movie is really, really well made, so I recommend it. It especially has a really surprising ending. So that's one way of remembering the meaning of the word glut. But if you had never heard of the word gluttony before, another way you could remember it is by listening to the sound of the phrase. So a glut of sounds a bit like a lot of. A glut of, a lot of, a glut. Alright, so picture time. So you can see lots and lots of barrels of oil. So let me read that sentence one more time. When Saudi Arabia increased its oil production, it resulted in a glut of oil on international markets and caused prices to fall sharply. So glut means an excessive amount, too much, a lot of. So finally, number 5 is key up. This phrase has been the answer once before in the actual test. Here's the sentence. The fans were so keyed up about meeting their favorite celebrity that some of them began to cry. So if you key someone up, it means you make someone excited. And it seems like this key refers to the key that you can find on like the back of a toy. You know how if you wind it up, then it starts moving. So by winding it up or by keying it up, what you've done is you've given it energy and therefore you've made it excited. So here's a picture that illustrates the example sentence. Let me read the sentence one more time while you're looking. The fans were so keyed up about meeting their favorite celebrity that some of them began to cry. So key up means to make excited. Alright, so let's review the 5 vocab items for today. Number 1 is prescribe. Number 2, perfunctory. Number 3, expropriate. Number 4, glut. And number 5, key up. I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.